Not only do we want this to be an educational show, because most of our patients, if they're educated, they can treat themselves better. I also try to do some cooking and teach you how to cook and eat healthy. However, I do have a food taster, and I'm going to introduce you to this food taster. His name is Gus. One of my favorite things in life is enjoying good food. But I also know that food plays a serious part in our health, especially heart health. Right now, the all-you-can-eat and supersize me mentality is rampant in our society. It's even to the point where many people feel gypped if they don't eat all they can or get a supersized soda that they paid for. One of the simplest and most important things you can do is to remember that before you even open your mouth to order, think about portion control. So let's go in the kitchen and I'll show you more about what I mean. Hi. We're now going to make a tilapia dish, but first let me wash my hands. It's always important to keep your hands washed in between meals and even when you're preparing even different parts of the meal. So these are 2 fillets of tilapia. I just put some lemon on them before we started because the trick to this is lots of lemon and lemon zest. So whenever I have tilapia, I like to use different spices. This is a garlic parsley spice with a little salt, and we'll just run that over it. Paprika is always something I like to use with fish, and we'll use some paprika on this. We'll have some parsley flakes and a little salt and pepper. And this is going to be a baked dish, and I'll add lemon zest to the lemon. We're trying to make this as light as we could. Pour some of this over the dish so that I can coat both sides. Now once it's coated, I want to put some breadcrumbs or some flour before I start the baking process. And what I've learned is just a little bit of flour, a little bit of breadcrumbs, but I like the crunch. I've learned to use cornflakes, and basically I take a hand of cornflakes and I crunch them up. And all I do is add it to my flour, add it to my breadcrumbs, and mix it up. And these breadcrumbs were seasoned breadcrumbs, Italian breadcrumbs. I just take my fish and I coat both sides with my flour, breadcrumbs, crushed cornflakes, and then we're ready for the oven. I put a little water in a pan. This way it will create some steam as it's cooking. I'll put my aluminum foil on. I usually will spray just so it doesn't stick. And then I place my fish on there and I leave some of the lemon zest, lemon mixture, which we'll add for the last 2 or 3 minutes of cooking. This will go in at about 370 in your oven for about 20 minutes to 25 minutes. So it's in the oven, basically 20-25 minutes in the oven, 370. And the last 10 minutes, I'm going to add some more lemon over it. Now, while that's cooking, we're going to make a side dish. And the side dish I decided will be some green and red pepper, which we're going to saute, and then brown rice. I like brown rice because it also has a texture to it. Remember, you know, your tongue has sensation. In different parts of your tongue feel salt and sour and sweet. And also your palate and tongue feel texture. So you want to have some texture, and I think brown rice gives more texture than soft white rice. So I'll just slice a few pieces of green and red pepper, make them into smaller quarters, put some garlic, parsley, and salt mixture that I've created over the green and red peppers. And I always use olive oil. I rarely cook with anything but olive oil. And in Italy, they only use extra virgin olive oil. And we just want to cook these down just for about a minute or so before we add the rice. But when you add the rice, you need a little liquid. And rather than use water, I like to add some chicken stock. So I'll just pour a little bit of chicken stock in there and let that mix around. So I bought this brown rice, and all I do is throw it into the bowl, start breaking it down a little. Let's incorporate some of that chicken stock. A little bit more chicken stock. And that should be good enough. And what happens is we're gonna let this slowly cook, turn down the flame, and in about 2 or 3 minutes, it'll be ready. Okay, as you can see, it's crusting well. And now I'm just going to add that lemon I told you over both pieces. And we have about another 10 minutes there. As you can see, if you prepare your ingredients ahead of time, this meal should take no more than a half hour to 35 minutes. Basically the time it takes the fish to cook. Because while you're doing that, you're sauteing your rice and peppers, and they'll be ready at the same time the fish is, and you're ready to go. And this meal should be no more than 600 calories. So once we're done, here's the tilapia with the lemon sauce, and here you have your brown rice with the green and red peppers. Place a little lemon on it if you want some more. This is a very easy dish. Everybody seems to like it, even people that don't like to eat fish. Now, Gus, on the other hand, loves to eat everything. So Gus, do you want a taste? Are we going to give you a taste? Let's see. Come over here. Come over. Would you like to sit down? Sit down. Do you want to taste it? What do you think? Good? All right.